We have been reading through the book of Acts this year on Wednesday night Bible studies at 7. You can join us there if you want. We've also then been touching on it the following week for our sermon series, and we are supposed to be in Acts chapter 13 this week. However, I interrupt your regularly scheduled program for this special announcement. I want to show you a list, and I want to see if it speaks to you. So this is from Galatians chapter 5. It's called the fruit of the Spirit. I'm going to put it up on the screen, and what I'd like you to do is sort of keep a mental note, or if you have a piece of paper next to you, I'd like you to just jot down anything that comes to you as I read this. So these are the fruit of the Spirit. Love. Joy. Peace. Patience. Kindness. Generosity. Faithfulness.
That's more than seven. That's the seventh.
Gentleness. Self-control. There is no law against such things. If we live by the Spirit, let us also be guided by the Spirit. Let us not become conceited, competing against one another, and envying one another. So I want to propose to you something about the fruit of the Spirit that I think is really important. It's not a to-do list. This is not something to strive for. These are not boxes to check. I'm going to go as far as to say that these are not even symptoms that you have been infected by the Spirit. I'm going to say these are side effects. It's an outgrowth of a life that is in you. The life of God's Spirit is alive in you. And these things show up. It's not a to-do list. They're not boxes to be checked. It's not a task. It's the outgrowth, the natural fruit of you being rooted in the faith. That the Spirit of God lives in you, and the outgrowth of that life manifests in these ways: love, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, generosity, self-control, patience. And there's no law against these things. In fact, the life of God's Spirit that lives out in us as a community manifests in these ways as we love and care for one another, and then love and care for our community, as we partner with our city to make this world a better place. It's the natural outgrowth of a life that is alive in you. I just wanted to put that in front of you to say that as we are reading through the history of the church this year in the book of Acts, how it got its start, this seems to me to tie in perfectly with the kind of history that our congregation and the church of our day can expect. This is just how it looks to be and do church together. It manifests in these ways: in love, in peace, in patience, in kindness, in goodness, in generosity, in faithfulness, in self-control. Can't outlaw these things. They keep us from competing with one another and from envying one another, because we see the good in one another and we partner together to bring about a preferable future. It's not a to-do list. It is the natural outgrowth of a life that is alive in you. Are you encouraged?
Yes.
Good. Because the last thing you need is a to-do list right now. That's the last thing any of us need, is the pressure to be more productive, to somehow redeem this moment. No. This is the natural outgrowth of something that is alive in you presently, that animates our community and connects us each one to another. This is how the life of God's Spirit is alive between us. It just shows up in these ways. So be encouraged and keep your eye out. Recognize it when you see it. Feel free to name it and to praise it, for it is the goodness that makes this world a better place.
Amen.
Amen.